I'm going to tell you the one thing that you need to change to become a wealthy woman, but you are not going to like it, but it's going to help you. I promise.
Welcome to Urban Contour News.
When I say show up, understand I'm talking about a woman showing up that's in her femininity, her spirituality, her sensuality, and her wisdom.
Yeah.
Those are the four components that I talk about when I'm talking about showing up. So,
Yeah.
what does spirituality bring? Spirituality allows you to discernment. It allows you to see things and feel things that you wouldn't if you weren't there. What does wisdom do? Wisdom shows you how to execute all of those things.
Yeah.
You know, your sensuality allows you to flow. Right now, women live in a time where they know how to be sexual, but they don't know how to be sensual.
Yeah.
Right. So when I say that, I'm coming from a selfless woman because I understand the psychology and how men work.
Yeah.
Right. And I've always told women, make sure you pick up a book on some, learn some stuff about some men and get some men in your life that can school you, not just, the people that you grew up with, but some true men that you can say, okay, he's an upright guy. So I know my value and what I bring to a man's life.
Yeah.
And but because it comes it's wrapped up in the presence, right?
Yeah.
All of those things that you named, it's a part of who I am.
Yeah.
So I can't help but say, like you text me something the other day to send to someone, and I was sending it to him, but I reread it first, and then I fixed it.
Yeah.
I correct. I said, okay, let me put this and let me add this to it. And then I sent it.
Because
right?
you know how men communicate, but you also know how men respond.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had said, let me fix this, and then I sent it over. And so it's a part of being an individual that has no problem kicking in. I am the side mirrors. One of the stories that I often tell is as far as showing up and what does that look like with a relationship I was in. He's very well-known guy, and we used to we did great business together. I had to learn on my journey that just because you do good business with someone and y'all have the same business energy doesn't mean you should be in a romantic relationship.
Right.
Something I had to learn. So in this particular relationship, we were great friends. We were, did great business. He had to do a book signing one day. And he was nervous. But when he get on stage, it's like he was that dude. I'm like, you better go ahead and tell these people.
Right.
So he got off stage. The moment that he got off stage, it had to be about 5,000-6,000 people in the room. I'm in the lobby area. And before he even went in, he said, you think we're gonna sell books? I said, I got this. I said, why you think I wore this black dress? I said, my hair is together. I said, look at these shoes you bought. Why you think I told you to go get these shoes?
Yeah.
He's like, the shoes gonna do it. I said, watch me work. We about to sell every last one of these books, right? So I knew my position. So I said, you just go up there and you kill them. I said, you kill them with your words, and I'm gonna get every dime out the people, chap.
Yeah.
So he comes out and he comes and sits. He walks up to me. The moment he left that stage and he got to me, I saw the 15-year-old boy all over again immediately.
Yeah.
He said, well, how did I do? I said, you did good. I said, I got you a special pen. That's what you're gonna sign these books with, right? Because I already knew he was nervous.
Yeah.
And so he said, you didn't even do anything? I said, I think I need you to sit down and look sexy. I said, these people getting ready to come out, watch me work. He had his assistant on one end and another one on the other end, and I was in the middle.
Yeah.
So all I did was have him sit there. And when I tell you, everybody that walked by, they complimented me on my hair, my shoes, the dress, everything to draw them over. And I was very friendly.
Yeah.
So he sold every last one of those books. And I said, well, honey, I said, guess what I got? He said, what you got? I said, a bag of money.
Yeah.
He said, what? And so both of his assistants came to me and I said, how did you guys do? They were like, well, we did all right. I said, give me these books.
Gotcha.
And so what ended up happening is from that experience, watching him go from Superman immediately to Clark Kent to be all in his insecurities for me to say, I got this.
Yeah.
So no, you don't just like me because I showed up and I'm pretty.
Yeah.
No, it's, I'm good for your peace, legacy, and your portfolio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right after that, he sent his team home. He said, I'm gonna put them on a flight. He said, you want to stay in LA extra day? I was like, yeah, what we gonna do? He said, you want to go shopping? I said, oh, yes. And we went shopping simply because I was there to make his life better in that moment. Even it was a lot of different dynamics that happened. I became the business partner. I became the accountant, but I also became that soft place to land when he came off that stage.
Yeah.
And it was like, I could just, his whole face, I'm like, how did he just get up here in front of all of these people? But because I understand he functioned in Clark Kent, I was able to still respect him in that space and say, I got it. Here's your special pen. I ordered you with your name on it.
Gotcha. And that's important because a lot of times when men are vulnerable with women, they make the mistake of seeing it as weakness.
Yes.
And then what happens is you lose his trust.
Yes.
And he'll never be vulnerable with you again.
Yes.
There's 3 things that you get. I'm going to give you the sauce here, ladies. All right?
Okay.
There's 3 things you have to do continually in a relationship, and you did a really good job with doing that. 1, you have to forever be dropping your handkerchief.
Yes.
What that means is you're telling a man, this is good. Come, please.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You don't just do that when you meet.
Yes.
You do that in a bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
throughout the house, in business, every day of your life. You're going to have to do that with your man. You're going to have to drop handkerchiefs,
Mm-hmm.
okay? To let him know things are good. Come on over.
Yes.
All right. The second thing is you found gaps. Every man, no matter how successful or unsuccessful he is, he has gaps.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes he can't see those gaps. As you said before, you're the rear view mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay? You can look in your rear view and see what's behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But if you can't see what's on the side of you, you can never change lanes.
Yes.
And so your woman is that. She's that ability for you to see what's going on the side of you. You got to find those gaps.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that's really important, I'm not going to give them all the sauce,
Okay.
is you have to create peace for a man.
Mm.
Because a man is always driven towards, ambition, which is going to create some level of chaos.
Yes.
And as this chaos is being created, you're going to be the soft landing spot for him. So when he's that boy coming off the stage and being vulnerable, he needs to know that you can bring him that peace.
Yes.
And if you can bring him that peace and drop that handkerchief and find those gaps, that is just 3 ways that you can show up for a man. And you did that in just one instant.
Ah, very